Okay, Fulham Chelsea. Watch along. Last match of the weekend. Score prediction. I think Chelsea will win 2-0. I think they'll have too much. They signed a lot of players, massively improved their squad from last season. And Fulham are starting out with the youngest team they've ever had, or for a long time anyway. 1-0 straight away. 1-0 straight away. Literally just giving my score prediction then. 38 seconds, well, 35 seconds in, João Pedro through. We just have to wait and see if he's offside because I think it was quite close. But that is exactly the way Chelsea wanted to start this. Exactly the way they wanted to start it, and completely the opposite for Fulham. They will not have wanted to start this way. 1-0 Chelsea. Oh, he's well onside. Well onside. Easy. Way too easy. Way too easy that. Fulham hadn't even warmed up. Yeah, hello Simon. Good to see you back. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Crazy. That is not the way that Chelsea would have wanted to start. Fulham would have wanted to start. Sorry, Chelsea on the other hand, that is exactly the way they wanted to start. Can't believe that was 1-0. I won't even finish giving my score prediction. I said 2-0, but I think I think I'm in trouble with that score prediction now. What do you think the score will be, Simon? Out to Fulham. Yeah, that is not an ideal start for Fulham. Come out of nowhere as well. Long ball, header from the Chelsea defender, straight to Cole Palmer, flicks it on. Yeah, 3 3-1's a good shout. A few people have commented that earlier as well on my post. They said 3-1 as well. Yeah, it's not a bad shout, especially a goal so early as well. It'd be good to see the two Real Madrid, or ex-Real Madrid players for Fulham, see what they're like. I've not really seen much of them. Fulham playing a dangerous game there, passing it around the back. Rogers through, shoots. Oh, good tackle. Corner, corner to Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea have started real fast in this game. That's exactly the way I thought they were going to start as well, getting after Fulham straight away. That's a good challenge by the Fulham defender there. Or just take the corner. No, sorry, Palmer. They've just changed. Short. Gone short to Rogers. Cross it in. Edge of the box. Or James gets a shot off. Gets blocked. Chelsea are up. Chelsea are up for this. You can tell straight away. Chelsea are on it. Oh yeah. Oh, that's bad. He's lucky that other defenders there behind because that would have been red otherwise. I think you should. I think yellow's fair. I think yellow's fair. There was someone covering on the other side of the pitch, and the way that the player was going, it wasn't quite a red. But if there was no player behind, if he was the only one back, if the crew weren't around that sort of area, I think he would have been in trouble there. That is sloppy. He's switched off, and well done from Bob there as well. He's seen it and got in, got him up the pitch, got Cole a yellow card. And that's not how he wanted to start the game. 4 minutes in, yellow card. Away with the ball in, poor. Doesn't beat the first people on the edge of the box. Got to use the opportunity better there, especially if you're 1-0 down. King just runs out of room. Chelsea play fast. Out to Pedro. Pedro's done well there. Yeah. Yeah, Chelsea look like they're on fire. Apart from that bit of sloppy play from Colwill, um, Chelsea are looking all about this. Colwill gets the ball in the box. Out to Hato, back to Lavia. This game started really fast, which is good. It's good to watch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're moving it fast. That's exactly what all the other teams that we watched over the weekend, like Liverpool, Man United, they did the complete opposite to this, and you can see the difference straight away. You play the ball around fast, you don't give the other team an opportunity to get settled in, and that's exactly what they're doing. When you pass the ball really slow, you allow the other team to get set, and then they're really hard to break down. That's what Liverpool did. Man United did that, and it showed. And this is totally different to the way that Chelsea were playing last season as well. Last season, I know we're 6 minutes in, but it already looks different. A lot quicker. And everyone's showing as well. That's another thing as well. If you watch how they're playing, like they're not just passing it and then watching, they're passing and moving, allowing like space to occur so that they can pass the ball to each other. Everyone's trying to show for the ball. Good ball from Palmer. Ah, just runs out of play. Well, Chelsea have started real well in this game. They're winning every second ball as well, straight away. Yeah, exactly. Going forward all the time. When the ball lands, they're on it. Palmer gets a shot off, easy save. Yeah, Fulham need to slow slow this game down because Chelsea are flying at the minute. If it carries on like this, I see Chelsea getting quite a few goals. My prediction of 2-0, I don't think it's going to last, to be honest with you. I don't even know if it will last till half time. James wins the ball back in centre. That's the good thing about having someone who's defensively minded but can play a pass in the centre midfield, like James, when he can win the ball back and he's not just going to pass it backwards all the time. He's going to look for a good pass forward to try and break up the Fulham back line. Not all the defensive midfielders can do that as well as someone like James could do. Chelsea have the bench as well when they can. Yeah, 100%. Like that, everyone's like hating Chelsea for the amount of money that they spend and the amount of players that they have. But if you look at what all the other teams lacked that have struggled this weekend, it's depth. As soon as Chelsea's players start to run out of legs, they just get swapped out straight away. You know what I mean? Like we were saying yesterday with Liverpool, like they had no attacking options to bring on at all. They literally had McAllister, who's not an attacking midfielder. He can go forward and can what's happened? This is Fulham's biggest opportunity. Like that's Fulham's biggest way in is Chelsea making mistakes because ultimately they still do have quite a few young players in there, so they are going to still make mistakes like they were last season. That was a bit risky from Chelsea there unnecessarily. But yeah, going back to the depth, like Chelsea have got so much depth that they can just swap it after 60 minutes rather and they can change their shape as well rather than like just bringing another like for like player on. They can change the way that they're playing depending on who they bring on. Easy catch that by Sanchez. Not a very good corner. Yeah, Cole does need to calm down a bit. Yeah, yeah. And Hato as well. Like Hato just almost caused them an issue just before that corner. They just need to. I think like the the excitement of them probably wanting to get into the game is slightly affecting them. Palmer's got the ball in the centre over the top to Pedro. Pedro's through again. Oh, Bassi does well there though. Yeah, Bassi does well. The ball was just going away from goal then. Oh, Lavia gets stuck in a little bit there. Yeah, that was a bit heavy that. Don't think there was any need for him to do that, and he just got himself booked. That's Chelsea on two bookings in the first 12 minutes. Yeah, that's they're playing a bit of a dangerous game there, Chelsea. Like there was no need for him to go flying in like that. He could have won the ball without doing that, and in trying to go in too hard, he doesn't even get the ball. Well, he does a little bit to be fair. He does a touch, but he goes over the top of the ball. That's dangerous. That is quite dangerous. And now he's got to play 80 minutes on a yellow card. Caicedo's injured as well, so they can't even take him off and replace him with a like for like. Unless they bring on Enzo Fernandez, but I don't think he wants to play Enzo Fernandez, to be honest. I don't know whether that's a wise move because of the amount of uproar that he's caused over the past few weeks. Oh, it's unlucky there from Rodgers. Chelsea pressing higher as well. Yeah, Chelsea are just trying to keep Fulham contained in their own like 21st, 25 yards of the pitch. Yeah, Chelsea are giving Fulham nothing at all here. Boxing them in their own first 25 yards, and then Batty kicks the ball out. That's exactly how Chelsea will want to be playing this game, not letting Fulham get anything. Yeah, but if I was Fulham, I wouldn't be passing out from the back while I was getting pressed higher by Chelsea because all of their front players are aggressive and rapid. What's Sanchez doing? Sanchez, what's he doing? Why did he do that? What he could have kicked that way before. There was no need for him to wait for that to happen. What's he done that for? And that's the reason why Chelsea fans, a lot of them, don't want him in goal anymore. They wanted to sign a keeper because he is a bit of a liability. He's a good shot stopper, but he's mental as well. He does some mad stuff. If they score from this now, like that was so unnecessary. Corner here to Fulham. Cross the ball, don't beat the first man. I think Sanchez is probably thanking that from happening there because that was he was probably flapping a little bit about that corner because that was so unnecessary. Chelsea have started really well here. I don't think Sanchez is nearly a bad keeper, but I'm shocked they. Yeah, that's what I was saying then. I don't think he's a bad keeper. He's a good shot stopper, but some of the stuff he does is insane. Like, I don't understand the thought process. It's like he gets bored and doesn't and switches off because some of the mistakes that he makes are just absolutely horrendous. But then on the other hand, he can pull out world class saves. It's quite funny to watch. Not being a Chelsea fan, you know what I mean. But that quite strange what he does. The ball there through to the front line. But Fulham just got not like Chelsea just ain't giving Fulham anything. Fulham struggling to get up the pitch with the ball. I do think from Fulham's behalf, letting Harry Wilson go was a bit of a bad decision as well. Like He was one of their best players, and he goes. I mean, he's not the best player in the world, but what he does give you is a goal from anywhere, like because he's got quality about him. Fulham pressing high, get the ball back. Oh, unlucky there from King. Fulham coming back into this a little bit now. I think that first 15 minutes, they just wanted to get under their belt. Yeah, they conceded in the first 30 seconds, but they've done well to last the next 14 and a half minutes without conceding another goal. Just settling into it a little bit now. Chelsea are still on the ascendancy most of the time, but Fulham are easing their way back into it now. They just need to slow the play down. Don't let Chelsea get a massive momentum going again, and keep hold of the ball like they are now. Like, I know they're just passing it around the back, but that's why they don't probably do it though, because Sanderberg just passed it into no one. Luckily, there was no one there. Risky. Oh, Chelsea are flying into some of these tackles. They're getting right stuck in. On the line to Palmer. Palmer's got the ball out on the right hand side. Yeah, I agree. Fulham are trying to attack, but just can't. Yeah, like Chelsea are just giving them nothing, and also their front line, they're the two guys from Real Madrid are probably just trying to settle in, and at home to Chelsea in the first game of the season is probably not the easiest place to do that because they're not going to see much of the ball. And to me, like that Garcia is not a massive geezer, so like having Raul Jimenez last season for Fulham, they could just boot the ball up to him, and Hato's took on about five people here. Oh, he's fallen over the ball. That's unlucky. But then Palmer wins it back. Iwobi's got to get rid of it quicker than that. But then Iwobi does well getting the ball back. Good bit of play there from both teams. Yeah, having Jimenez up front last season for them would have been a massive outball. He just stayed up the top. They fired it into him so he could hold the ball up. This Garcia doesn't look like that type of player. He looks like probably the type of player who's going to try and run behind. Sanderberg with a poor pass there gives it away in the centre of the pitch to James. But Chelsea have just slowed it down. Yep. Fulham are going to find this hard enough as it is without poor passing like that. Back to Gusto on the right hand side. Through to Palmer, still on the right hand side. They've got quite a few bodies in the box as well. Palmer's trying to work some magic. Pass it out to Gusto again. They obviously have got like four players in the box, which again is something different from last season. Last season they were struggling to get people in the box. Lacroix gets caught on the ball, but Fulham are getting stuck in as well. They've just got no out ball. That's the problem. They've got no out ball. Or Palmer wins it back. Palmer wins it back. Oh, Robinson does well there to put his head on the line. Palmer's got the. They've got to score here, surely. How have Chelsea not scored there? But Fulham absolutely living dangerously here. Yeah, having Garcia against his backline is true because they are free. Yeah, exactly. It's not like yesterday when we was watching Liverpool where they were going to get dusted by Elanga. Like Lacroix, um, Hato, Cole, and Achimpong are all pretty fast, so they're going to be able to get back. Like they've just caught him there, but he's still done well to keep hold of the ball. Though that's exactly what Fulham need. He got a bit of space here. Goes to shoot. Sanchez saves it out for a corner. Must have been moving because it was straight at him. That's better from Fulham though. Yeah, a decent shot that to be fair. It is straight at Sanchez, but he's got him a corner. Corner to Fulham. See if they can do something from this because the first two haven't been great. I think they've changed taker now. Iwobi's taking it instead of I think it was Bob taking it before. Strange one that. I don't know if he meant to do that, but goes to King at the front post. He lays it back to Palacios and um goes miles high. That no, I don't think that's a penalty. Nah. Yeah, exactly. Especially because I thought that the way that Chelsea started that game, I thought they were going to come in the next 5, 10 minutes, score another goal. But Fulham have done well to get back into it, slow the game down a little bit, hold the ball up, and just ride the wave. But Chelsea still look dangerous. Like every time they, not every time, but a lot of the times when they go forward, they look like they're going to score a goal. So I do think that Chelsea will probably score another goal before half time. Fulham have come close in one or two attempts, so I don't put them out of this game. That's well played. Bob's just absolutely done him there. King's taking it down the right hand side. Cross it across the box. Raul Jimenez would have been there. Sunderberg from the edge of the box. That cross, Raul Jimenez would have scored that. That's where he would have been. That's where you want your striker to be. You don't want him to be anywhere else. All the top strikers, all the strikers that have scored the most goals in the Premier League, that's where they are. Alan Shearer would have scored. Ian Wright would have scored. Harry Kane would have scored. They all would have been there then. Yeah, Fulham need a good spell of possession here. I think it's very important they don't rush it because there's still a lot of 100%. They don't need to go mental to try and get an equaliser in like early enough, but they just need to stay in the game and build up, like settle themselves into the game because it seemed like they was a bit nervous at the beginning, but they probably had to be. Well, they probably were nervous because Chelsea started so fast. They didn't know what was going on. But this is it now. Fulham have got the ball on the other half. Yeah, like if you've got like that, Garcia should have been in there. Then that's where you want him to be. You know what I mean? Like that's where he's going to get his goals from. That's good play by Castagna. Goal, King. What a goal that was. That was well played out on the right hand side. What a goal. That's exactly what we were just talking about. Fulham just getting back into it, settled down a little bit, and they've got a goal out of it. What a goal. This is turning out to be the best game of the weekend so far. Yeah, that was quality, that. Yeah, he should be saving that. But I think they deserve that. The way that they built up that play, him between him and Castagna, the little 1-2s round the corner, starts out on the right hand side into Castagna through the through the two Chelsea players. Yep, this is what I was saying before. That's how Sanchez allowed himself to be beaten on the front on the near post with a shot. He probably could have controlled that. In reality, he might even be able to use his feet to save that. That's poor, and that's the reason why Chelsea don't wanted a new keeper. If you listen to someone like Rory Jennings now, he's going to be absolutely going mental that Sanchez has just let that go in. But yeah, Josh King is a quality player. I think he needs to learn to release the ball a little bit quicker, but that will come with time. Like when I was watching him last season, he goes on these mazy runs, which is good, but that final little detail was missing. But that's the final detail there, him scoring that goal. Do you know what I mean? And that, like, I'm happy for him that he scored that because he's really young as well. But yeah, now I wonder what Chelsea are going to come back with now because they were just on fire. I don't think they was expecting Fulham to get a goal there. To be honest, after that first 15 minutes of like real intense play by Chelsea, they seem to have slowed down a little bit. Fulham just need to settle down now. Probably not lose the ball in their own box and stop playing around a little bit and get the ball out. 25 minutes gone, 1-1. I'm not going to say it's been an even game, but Fulham definitely don't deserve to be losing this game. After the first 15 minutes, they've come back right back into it and looked all right. They've had a couple of decent chances. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as soon as it slowed down a little bit, Fulham come right back into it. But the game slowed down because Fulham started controlling the ball a little bit and stopped giving the ball away. And that's a massive difference between how it started and how it's going now. Like their passing's got a lot better. They're giving the ball away a lot less than they was before, which was allowing the game to be slowed down a little bit. Wonder what Chelsea are going to do now. If you're Chelsea, how long do you stick with Sanchez if he's making mistakes like that? There's only so much you can do. Like, there's only so far you can get up the league when you've got a goalkeeper that makes mistakes like that. King again, cross. Oh, Garcia. He's going to be offside. Don't touch it yet. Oscar Bob's got the ball. Don't know how that didn't go in. Now Fulham are pressing. Fulham are pressing, keeping Chelsea backed into their own 25-yard. Turns into Bob. Back into the middle. Oh, he's got a score. Fulham right on top now. What's happened here? This game's completely turned on its head the last 5 minutes. Now Fulham are just slowing the ball down again. It's worked for them in the last. It's worked for them in the last 15 minutes. So probably the way they want it to play. If Chelsea want to be a qualifying for Champions, yeah, 100%, 100%. Like if someone's going to cost you points constantly, or not constantly, it's probably a bit harsh, but yeah, they if your goalkeeper's going to cost you points over the season, that's not the goalkeeper that you want if you're trying to get into the top four, top five, and win trophies. It's just not. The top teams don't have that. Yeah, Chelsea looking a bit nervous now. It's like they wasn't expecting this to happen, and it's like Fulham have like completely turned this around. They're playing like Chelsea was, and Chelsea are playing like Fulham was in the first 15 minutes. Yeah, Josh King's got a bee in his bonnet at the minute. He's flying around everywhere. Short corner this time. Out to Robinson. Out to King. Oh, Palmer wins the ball back. Gives the foul away. Yeah, you can't do that on the edge of their box. He's always going to give a foul for that. Yeah, Chelsea started this game on fire. Fulham have come back into it the last 15 minutes. It'd be interesting to see how the next hour goes. Because surely Chelsea have got to settle back down and come back into this again. You would think. Yeah, Fulham happy to just sit here with the ball. But a 1-1 draw with Chelsea on the first game of the season is a massive result for Fulham. They're happy with that. So they'll just keep playing like this, I imagine. Palmer with the ball on the right, trying to break forward. Crosses the ball to the outside. Pedro! Oh, that must have been inches away. Quality from Cole Palmer. Cuts it back to around the penalty spot. Is it back to the penalty spot? That's so close. He's so unlucky. Yeah, that's unbelievably unlucky. It's the bench Chelsea have. They do have quality that can come on against tired legs. Yeah, 100%. Like that. The longer this game goes on, the more and more difficult it's going to get for Fulham because they just don't have the depth that Chelsea have. So Fulham need to be in a decent position. Oh, Sanchez does well there because that's definitely a goal otherwise. Um, yeah, Fulham don't have the depth, so they need to be in a decent position when it comes to the 75th minute. If not, they're going to find it hard that last 15 minutes. But they're giving as good as they're getting at the minute, Fulham, if not better. Putting Chelsea under loads of pressure this last 10 minutes. Fulham just trying to slow the game back down again now. They keep doing that. I've noticed that they're slowing it down, then they spring into life. Slow it down, spring into life. You've just got to be careful that they don't try and slow it down too much and get a bit complacent. Because if one of them makes a mistake like they did in the early part of the game, uh, they'll Chelsea will capitalise on that. Robinson down the left. Yeah, Fulham just happy to pass the ball around here. Half an hour gone. Oh, that's poor from Awobi. There was no need to play that pass. You just give the ball away. Yeah, if Awobi just give the ball away for no reason there because he could have passed it out to the left hand side to Robinson. He was standing there free on his own, but tried the difficult pass through someone's legs and give it away. That didn't make any sense. Sander Berg gets caught on the ball there. Now Chelsea pushing forward on the break to Rogers. Rogers cuts inside, shoots, blocked, saved by Leno. That's a lot better play that from Chelsea on the counter. How are Chelsea playing counter attacking football? But that's what they just did. Lavio nicks it in the middle, goes to Cole Palmer, out to João Pedro to Rogers, does well, tries to cut in and shoot, gets blocked. Then out to Reece James, where it's on his weaker foot. But what's Colwell done there? That was close. He can't be playing them games. He can't be playing them games. Reece James in the middle. Colwell's got to slow himself down a little bit because he's going to get sent off. Chelsea's just slowing up. Fulham are giving them no room now. They're set in their positions there. Chelsea are just going left to right. It's good play. Achimpong's got some space on the right hand side. He's got it all the way up to the edge of the box. Corner to Chelsea. That was well played. Palacios gets back. Yeah, that's silly from Colwell. That's silly. He's lucky. If he wasn't on a yellow card, that might have been a different scenario because he might have got himself a yellow card. And the ref didn't even give a foul for that. Maybe that's because he didn't want to have to give him a yellow card. Pato wins the header. Yeah, 100%. That's what I was saying a minute ago. Colwell needs to slow himself down, otherwise he's going to end up off the pitch, either by getting sent off or getting subbed off. Good save that from Leno there. Chelsea are sort of coming back into this slowly now. Reece James with a corner. Leno punches it out. Just out to Palmer. Palmer's done Palacios. That's a foul. Can't do that. That probably should be a yellow card, but because he's just allowed Colwall away with something relatively similar, they might just allowed him there. So 1 for 1. I think that should have been a yellow card though, to be honest. He's just done him and he's pulled him back. Reece James with a free kick on the right hand side. It's quite far out though, so he's just gonna have to pelt it in there. See the ball to around the penalty spot. Fulham clear it quite easy. I wonder how big of an impact Villa set piece coach is going to have. I mean, he had a massive impact on Villa last season, so you might think that he's going to have a decent impact, but they don't seem to have tried anything fancy so far. Maybe that's for a reason. Maybe they're just settling in. They don't want to start going fancy straight away. Start trying to pull all the stops out. Similar to like Arsenal started with some really good set pieces, but they didn't quite work, and then they couldn't use them again for the rest of the game. So maybe they're keeping him in their back pocket until later on. Because by the all of the corners they've taken so far have just been either a normal cross or gone short and not had like a specific style of uh set piece, if you know what I mean. They've just gone short and then crossed it. Game slowed right down now, and like first 15 minutes was absolutely mental. Now it's quite slowed down a little bit now. Maybe everyone's a bit tired. This definitely benefits Fulham, the speed of the game now. Up to Garcia. Fulham win the second ball to Palacios. Good play by Fulham out to Robinson. Does Gusto, crosses the ball. Oh, just a bit too far. Good ball. Uh, Poor touch from Berger, but he gets it back anyway. Bassi from outside the box. Iwobi cuts back out to Robinson. Oh, he's Palacios took good touch there. Out to Berger. Bob. Is Bob going to shoot? No, he crosses it over to Robinson. Heads back in. Nah, it's not going nowhere. Sanchez collects it. Decent bit of play by Fulham there, though. Didn't come to anything, but. Oh. Rogers wins the ball back off Bassi on the halfway line. What can Chelsea make of this? Nothing. Free kick, Chelsea. Chelsea aren't breaking forward as quickly as they was the first 15 minutes either. I think that's partly down to Fulham having the ball a little bit more though. So a lot of the Chelsea players are having to be a lot deeper than what they would intend on being. To see if the set piece no, that answered my question. Short to Lacroix, not to Gusto, Lacroix. Palmer showed himself. Oh, good touch, good touch. Lacroix's up. Look, what's he up to? What's he up to? Goal. What? Who scored that? Rogers. Goal. What a goal. Lacroix with the silky skills in the box. 2-1 Chelsea. Simon, your 3-1's looking decent, to be fair. Yeah, it's good play by Chelsea. That this is the difference between what they were doing last season and this season. They hardly had any players in the box last season. Um, it was like they were trying to score from outside the box all the time. But now they've got two, three, four players in the box all the time. So if the ball runs too far, there's someone there to get it. Look, at the minute they've got 4 players, 5 players in the box. Goes to Rodgers, yeah, quality finish. He could have skied that, but didn't. There wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot of room for him to score that either. There was 2 players on the on the line. Good goal. Good goal. What a half this has been. 2-1. Fulham would be gutted about that because they really started coming to the game then. And if anything, they were on top. Yeah. And that's what depth gets you. They can play all the different sides of the pitch. If one player's not having it on the other side, they can swap around. You know what I mean? It's they can be very versatile, which is only going to benefit them. Someone on my TikTok earlier commented it was going to be 3-1. Palmer, Pedro, and Rodgers to score. He's not he's not far off. He just needs Cole Palmer to score. I need half time to come here in a hectic first half. It started to slow down a little bit, and then Chelsea just out of nowhere just got a goal. Palmer's going to foul him here. Or maybe not. Got the ball back. Well played from away, be that. James with the ball over the top. Yeah, yeah, 100%. 100% he's going to be taking it. Oh, giving the ball away there. Chelsea have done that quite a few times. The defenders' passing's not been great. And they're not the ones that you want to see giving the ball away. Over the top. Is that to Gusto? Gusto gets there first, but then Bart moved off the ball. You can't give the ball away in your own box. Palmer from outside the box. Oh, close. Just needed to curl it a little bit more, and that would have been in. How close is it? Oh, that is quite close. Probably about a metre away. A little bit more curl. That would have gone in bottom corner because Leno didn't even move. Leno didn't even bother moving. Yeah, Chelsea are well on top now. It's going to be tough for Fulham here because if the game opens up, yeah, 100%. When it started to slow down, you could see Fulham were definitely on top and it was favouring them. But now the game's picked up pace again since Chelsea has scored. Chelsea are now massively in control and looking dangerous again. Maybe Chelsea just needed a breather because they started so fast. But also with that, Fulham have started to give the ball away like they did in the first 15 minutes as well. But maybe that's because of the amount of pressure they're under from Chelsea. So it's all sort of like linked together. Switch of play from Bassey, good play there. Back to Robinson. Oh, unlucky. He tried to flick it in the middle. Chelsea not giving them no space now. What can Bob do here? Cuts inside. Lavia gets the ball away. Yeah, 2 minutes of added time. About a minute and a bit left. Chelsea would be happy with 2-1 here. At the beginning of the half, I thought they were going to absolutely run away with it in the first half, but Fulham massively come back into it, and now 2-1 at half time for Chelsea is a decent scoreline. Chelsea's backline has been a bit shaky in this first half. I'm impressed with Hato though. Yeah, yeah, that they're defensively they've looked like their centre backs, their three sort of centre backs haven't really been working too great, and they keep giving the ball away. Like without the ball, they're not so bad. With the ball, they look a bit worrying. But yeah, Hato does look like a decent player, even though he made a mistake early in the first half. But he's a very attacking-minded defender, isn't he? So same as Gusto. But Colwell needs. I don't know if Colwell's going to come out the second half. To be honest, if Chelsea have got someone to replace him with, I don't know if he's going to come back out the second half because he's been a bit wild. Rogers does well there. Nicks a foul. Castagne's going to start kicking off because he thought he was fouled, but and that's half time. What a half! That is the best half of football I think we've seen so far this weekend. In a good first half. I think Fulham have been the better team here, but Fulham haven't been. I think Chelsea have been the better team here, but Fulham haven't been bad. I think their heads have dropped a bit after the second. Yeah, yeah, 100%. I agree with what you're saying there. I thought Chelsea after that first 30 seconds were going to absolutely go mental in the first half, scoring loads of goals, but Fulham slowed the play down, did really well, got himself back into it, and then um, was holding on. I thought it'd be 1-1 at half time, but then Chelsea out of nowhere, Lacroix with the silky skills gets himself a goal. Fulham actually got 60% possession as well, so you can see how decent they've been. Yeah, hopefully the second half is the same as that first half. That'd be good. You think they'll replace for Palmer at half time? I don't know. I think I said Colwell, not Palmer. I don't know if they'll replace Palmer. Colwell's been a bit wild. but maybe so because I mean Palmer out of the three forwards has probably been the less productive, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's been bad, so I don't know if they'll take him off or not. To be honest, yeah, I did say Cole because the last thing they need is to have someone sent off. Like that's the last thing they need. So maybe subbing him out. Who have they got in? I mean they've not really got another Pep Chavira. Where does he play? I know he's defence, but I don't know whether he's centre back or out on the wings. But I suppose they could just put uh Reece James back into there and go four at the back. I think this is is it? No, I'd say the Tottenham Brentford game was probably still the best game of the weekend so far. Um, but this has been probably the most entertaining game. But what do you think of Aston Villa yesterday? When I was looking at their 11, I was shocked about. Yeah, they're in big trouble, and I think I'm not sure why they're not. They don't seem to be as concerned as what like a lot of their fans are believing in Emery, and I do understand why they do that because he's brought them like recent success, and why wouldn't you? But you can't lose your best players. Then the one key thing for me about it was Watkins not turning up yesterday. Um, him not turning up says quite a lot. It says to me that he knows that they're almost on a sinking ship. Yeah, they might get Goretzka in, but they got absolutely hammered by Brighton yesterday. And I predicted 3-1, but they absolutely battered him yesterday and then didn't even, they might as well not even played the second half. They replaced Tielemans with João Pedro. No, what's his name? João Gomez. He played for Wolves last season and he's a decent player, but he's wild and he got sent off first game of the season. So straight away they've just lost that player for another couple of games. I think they should be worried. They've got no. They have to play Buendia up front. I mean, again, he's not a bad player, but he's not a forward. He's a number 10 at most, like a winger. Maybe you might be, able to, but he's not a centre forward. Like not even close. And I think they're gonna if they don't spend some money. And this is what I was saying yesterday. I think as well. I was saying in the video. I was saying I might have been saying to you yesterday. I don't believe that Aston Villa needed to sell any players. Like if you actually work it out, if they didn't buy anyone, they don't need to sell anyone. So why didn't they just keep the same team as before? Why have they tried to make some money and then farm themselves? Because as well, with being in the Champions League, they're gonna yeah they're gonna earn more money this season, but they're gonna get absolutely battered by most of the teams in the Champions League. So I don't know. I I think they're gonna. And to be honest with you, like I think they sort of deserve it. From they didn't turn up against Tottenham the other day, one of the last games of the season, and they all thought it was funny. And now they've got the same amount of players they had on the pitch then as what they've got now, and it's not funny anymore. So I think they kind of deserve that to happen to them for doing that. Yeah. Well, I mean, the way that so they got stung by PSR, but SCR now goes off of the amount of money that you earn yearly minus the amount you spend on players and wages and agent fees and anything else. But it's purely squad related, so it's got nothing to do with anything on the outside of the initial squad. So their wage bill isn't going to be as high as what they earn each year. It's just not. Like they might not be one of the massive players in the league, but you got to think they won the Europa League last season and they come what fourth in the league. So I don't think that's the case. I think it is the case if they wanted to improve their squad. If they wanted to go, okay, Sam, we're going to keep all of our best players and add to that squad, then yes, they would have had to sell to buy. But instead, what they could have done is just kept their squad as it was, kept Rodgers, kept Tielemans, kept all these players, and just gone, we're not going to improve our team for next season. We need to wait a year or two to build back because they're under restraints, I think, from UEFA because they went over the 70% PSR limit and got bagged for it. So they don't help themselves when they sign Garnacho and Yeah, exactly. Like what they and they keep doing this. Like it's strange. It's like they want to. It's like they want to take the the player that's down in the dumps a little bit and make him feel better at their club. Like Rashford, he went there, did okay, didn't do great. Jadon Sancho the next season did terrible. Now they've got Garnacho, who's going to do exactly the same thing. And then Jackson, yeah, Jackson can't hit a barn door most of the time. You know what I mean? I don't rate him at all. The thing where Chelsea Villa trade players, although it gets turned around the rules, does hurt them because they are signing bench players. 100%. Chelsea have just nicked your best player and you've just took their worst player. How have Villa let that happen to themselves? And who was the one who thought that was a good idea? Do you know what I mean? Chelsea have gone. Do you know what? Chelsea were probably like, "Oh look, we'll do you a favour. Like if we buy Rodgers off you, we'll chuck Garnacho in on a loan so you can have him." Like, do you know what I mean? And they were like, "Oh yeah, sound buzzing," as if they haven't watched Garnacho all of the last 2 or 3 seasons. He had like 1 or 2 good seasons at United where he was like on fire. It might not have even been a couple of seasons. It might have been 6 months. But I don't know what Villa are thinking. But I think they're really going to struggle this year, especially with the Champions League. Like the level between Conference League, Europa League, and Champions League is absolutely insane. Like any team in the Premier League has the ability to win the Conference League. The majority of the teams in the Premier League have the ability to win the Europa League, and most of them, I mean, we most of them don't have the chance of winning Champions League because the gulf is too big. I think they should have bought Harvey Elliott because he's better. Yeah, Harvey Elliott's not a bad shout for them, but he's gone downhill massively as well. Dignity 50. I'm a Brighton fan. I was at the game yesterday. Villa was so poor. Yeah, exactly. Nice to meet you, mate. Exactly that. Like I've watched the highlights because I couldn't watch the 3 o'clock games. Um, and yeah, like I think Villa are in massive trouble, and Brighton. I think you're going to do well this season. I think you'll win the Conference League this season. Hinselwood looks quality. Yeah, you've got some quality players, and like I really like the way that Brighton just don't are not concerned with like, oh yeah, Belieber's going sound. We'll just get someone else who's just as good and just carry on and just do it season after season after season. It's absolutely insane how you can keep doing that. But I rate it so much because like it does allow you to play. It does allow you to get into the different cups. You know what I mean? So now you're in the Europa League, Conference League. You absolutely should win that. Yeah, local lad. He has a bright future. He's very grounded. Yeah, didn't his dad play for Brighton as well? I think, or his dad played in the Premier League for someone, I think, or in the Championship for someone back in the day. I'm not sure if he did do that, but I'm pretty sure his dad did play for someone. But Yeah, I liked him when I seen him last season. I thought he was really good. Yeah, like Brighton's a weird one, isn't it? Because like you just every season seem to get better with selling the most expensive players that you have. Like I rate it so much. You think you'll win the Conference League this season? Simon, who is it you support? Do you support Man United? Arsenal. I just seen your stream Saturday and popped in. Ah, cheers, legend. I did actually stream the Arsenal game, but um, I had to delete it because it was the first stream that I did, and I had the audio playing for the game for the first half, which I didn't realize. So I had to delete it so I didn't get copyrighted. But I did stream that game as well. You looked really good. His uncle played. Yeah, I knew it was someone. I think his father played for Palace. I hope we win it. It's a bit stronger this year. Yeah, I think it's going to continue to get stronger because like the teams the teams that can have seen that they can win that now are starting to push into it a little bit more. So like the when like I support West Ham and when we won it, like we was just playing teams that weren't anything at all. Do you know what I mean? Like literally anyone could have won it that league, and I'm glad we won it. But it was uh, it was quite easy to win. But yeah, I think you definitely got the capabilities to win that this season, and probably should prioritize it because you can probably get away with finishing 10th, winning the Conference League, and then get into Europa that way rather than trying to get into like 7th or 6th to get Europa. Yeah, I'm the same. I watch like every single Premier League game that I can. This is the sixth game that I've watched this weekend, and it's like I would have watched one of the 3 o'clock games, but I was just busy. So I would have watched 7 Premier League games this season out of the 10. Like this weekend out of the 10, I always watch them. And West Ham ain't even in it anymore. But West Ham's not worth watching anyway because we've been terrible for years. Second half just started now. Yeah, hopefully this game carries on the way it left off. That'd be ideal. Ajax, Atlanta, Braga with Brighton in the Conference League. Yeah, but the thing is, like, they are good teams. Don't get me wrong, they are good teams. But like, you'll be surprised at how well Premier League teams do against the other teams in them leagues until you get to the top team, as in like the Inter Milans, the PSGs, the Bayern Munichs and stuff. Like when you get to them, that's a different level, like across Europe. But when you're in them competitions and you're playing against the teams like them, you actually do really well against them because they don't play with the same intensity and pace as the Premier Leagues do. Just one piece of silverware would be great. You now have Veltman. Yeah, I like Veltman because he will just get stuck in every single game. Like I hated when we used to play against it, you and he was playing because he just gets stuck in. He doesn't give anyone anything. Like I'm happy we've got him off of you. To be fair, I'm not sure. Is he quite old now? Is he like 30 odd? Is that the reason why you got rid of him? Do you think? I actually think as well that the Conference League would be easier for you to win than the FA Cup or the League Cup. Like that would definitely be out of the three cups that you'll be competing in. That would definitely be the easiest one to win. I'm not saying it'd be easy to win it, but out of the three, that would be the one that I would probably target if I was you guys. Yeah, and when you start to hit that age as a defender, and like out on the wings, especially with all the players now that are like absolutely rapid out on the wings, it's hard for them to keep up. Iskovic is a good signing for Brighton. Him and Boscalgi is a good centre back partnership. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Cole Palmer's weaving his way into the box here. Oh, close that. Yeah. We now have a deep squad, so fingers crossed. Yeah, hopefully, like I said, like I'd love to see Brighton win it. Definitely, like honestly, like being a West Ham fan, like yeah, it didn't change the next few seasons for us, but just that having that one memory of winning a cup, like you'll never forget it. Do you know what I mean? And it's absolutely gleaming. The route as well was good. Like like the playing on the Thursday and beating teams and like properly beating them and stuff. Like Brighton do all right. Do you know what I mean? You just slap Villa 4-0. Like very rarely did West Ham beat anyone like well. Do you know what I mean? So us going to Europe and beating teams was quite good. Pedro on side here, 1-on-1. Palmer going around the outside. Palmer in. Goal. Palmer scores. That's the front three scored. That geezer on TikTok's got it right. Oh, there's colds everywhere going on. Just got to wait to see if Pedro was on side or not, though, because I think it was quite close. But that's exactly how Chelsea wanted to start the second half. Same way they started the first half. 4 minutes in, 3-1 Chelsea. I think now, I think Fulham are in trouble now. Conference League is only 6 games, which is a big difference, and the teams are a bit weaker in the group, so you can rotate. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Pedro's in his own half. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do here. I ain't got enough room. Through the keeper's legs as well. He's absolutely had his pants down there. How do you think West Ham will do this year? I, you know what? If I don't think we should have kept him, and I don't think he's a bad manager. I just think the way that he wants to play doesn't suit anyone anymore. Like being a defensive team when you haven't got pace up front is pointless. Like we can't counter attack anyone, and that's the reason why we got relegated. We've got Bowen on the right wing, who's relatively fast, but has dropped off quite a lot over the few seasons. No one's really said it. Plateau's through. Well done from Robinson there. I think we've had a really shaky start. Like, well, obviously we have. We've drawn with Burnley and then lost to Charlton. But I think we should have got rid of Nuno and just started afresh with someone who actually will go forward and play the way that we want. Like Nuno's very defensive and relies heavily on a counter attack. But when he was at Wolves, he had them players. Do you know what I mean? He had Neto, he had Jimenez up front who scored him loads of goals. He had Adama Traore. Like we don't have these players, or we had some of. Well, we had Adama Traore, but he was like 3 years older at that point. So like we was 2-0 up against Burnley and drew 2-2 because of the changes that he makes, and that's what infuriates everyone. Like he at half time, we was winning 1-0 and Pablo got injured and then he put James Ward Prowse on, and that makes no sense because we was on top. Then he's put a player on that's completely different to the one that come off. Tried to get him to play in the same position. It just didn't work, and then we ended up getting another goal. And instead of being like, "Oh, sound, let's carry on playing," we just sit back and we do it all the time. Nuno is a decent manager, but getting promoted with West Ham is different than Wolves super team. The Championship is much harder. Yeah, exactly, and we're seeing that straight away. Like, not it's not even just West Ham either. Burnley are in the same position as us. They've drawn their first game and lost their second game. We were the two. I mean, I know alongside with Wolves, but two out of the three relegated teams are on 1 point out of their first two games. When everyone was like, "Oh yeah, the newly relegated teams should walk the league," I don't think that's the case. But also, West Ham have not been are not the team that are good with the ball. Like, we're terrible with the ball. The way we win games is by letting the other team have the ball and then nicking a goal here and there. Like, which is what I was saying earlier about watching Brighton. Like, Brighton actually play football. Like, you actually play football and it's worth watching. Even if you lose, you can walk away and be like, at least it was a decent game. When you support West Ham, you watch every game. You're like, we could never have won that game because we didn't look like winning. Even the games that we won, we didn't deserve to win. We didn't deserve to win any games. And it's so painful to watch. And like, I'm glad we got relegated. I know it sounds mental, but I was just sick of, I mean, it's happened already in this league, but I was just sick of getting excited for the game at the weekend and then watching it and just being like, this is terrible. And we don't even look like a team that wants to play. We just go in there to try and not lose. And it's so infuriating. But I mean, losing to Charlton, I was less annoyed about losing to Charlton than losing in the Premier League, to be honest, because I mean, I think we'll still get promoted. It's just going to be a bit more difficult. Oh, what a goal! Good reactions there from Sanchez, and he scores in the first game. What a game this is. Hmm. Good reactions there from Sanchez to keep that down and get a goal. That could have easily been headed over. Lepar gets done. I don't know what he's up to. Decent save by Sanchez, and then Sanchez gets it in. Yeah, yeah. Garcia does well to react and head the ball down instead of up. Yeah, good goal. This is crazy. This is now definitely the game of the weekend. 100%. Could the score possibly be? Because I thought that I just thought then that Fulham were sort of out of it there because I thought 2-1 they got a chance, 3-1 Chelsea will crack on, but now Fulham are back in it and they're pressing, cross it in from Robinson, good ball. Oh, just no one there. Rob's absolutely done him there. Cuts back, in from Cassagna. Oh, caught by Sanchez. Fulham are on it now. It's like that. It's like that goal's just woke them back up again. Still think there's going to be goals in this game as well. I'm happy where we are now, but I do love Championship football. But it's a tough, relentless league to get out of. Good luck, though. Cheers, mate. Yeah, it's already looking rough. And we started last week. Yeah, it's rough, but yeah, it's the things I like about it's more. I mean, it's hard to explain, but it's like more authentic, isn't it? You know, like the way that the game is played is more like the way that when you as a kid football was played rather than all the technology that's in the game now and all the things that are unattainable and you've got the crazy goal line like scrambles and the old school players in there still who aren't quite Premier League level but are good enough to be professional footballers. So yes, it is good to watch. It's just a shame that they're not it's not on TV as much. It's quite difficult to watch games because unless you're unless you're like streaming it in a naughty way. It's quite difficult to watch the games. You know what I mean? Corner for Fulham. Oh, well done by Sanchez. He's under quite a bit of pressure there. Or is it long to Palmer? Palmer on the break. Oh, poor touch. No messing around there. Absolutely no messing around there. Get the ball out. What's happened to uh your manager's hairline? I'm not sure what's happened. Like, I've not seen anything about it. Like he had a full head of hair last season. It looks like he's had a transplant this season. Like, do you know what happened? With a ropey ball, switching the play there to Sanchez, long over the top. Yeah, I didn't know he didn't have any hair though. Last season, it didn't look like he didn't have any hair. I don't know what happened. Maybe he had like a toupee on or something, or wear a hat. I don't know because I don't remember fully. Oh, that's him done. Turned over. Took too long. That's the first time I think that's happened this weekend. Got called for the 5 second rule. Took too long. Swapped over to Fulham. Happy with that. It keeps the game flowing a little bit. Stops people from uh, hanging on to the ball. Simon, do you reckon Arsenal win the league this season? Alistair as well, but at least Hersler doesn't have to head the ball. Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah, McAllister's ain't going to work for very long, is it? You reckon that's why he didn't start? But to King on the right, cuts it back. Berger swings it in. No, headed out. Fulham, they look like they're building back the way they was in the first half. I think so. Depth is more important than ever in the league. Yeah, I think and we have the best squad. Yeah, you already had the best squad. You've kept all your best players and you've added quality players on top of that. Whereas all of the other teams that can challenge you either didn't have a good enough squad and have just got to the level that their squad should be, like a Chelsea or Man United, um, Man City, and Liverpool haven't improved their squads enough to catch up to you. I did do a prediction a few weeks ago, and I said that I thought City were going to win the league because that was just after they bought Anderson, and I thought they were going to absolutely like throw loads of money into the transfer window, and they just haven't done anything since then. And then they've lost Rodri. Like you can't lose the best CDM in the world and still expect to challenge for the league. That's just not going to happen now. I don't think. Like the way I see it, Arsenal. If Arsenal don't win it, it's going to be their fault. Like they're going to have lost it themselves. You know what I mean? Chelsea slowing the play down now. Chelsea would be happy with a 3-2 win, I reckon. That was good by Rodgers there, though. Shoots from Pedro over the box. Rodri, Stones, Silva, Ake all leaving the same year. Yeah, exactly. Like Stones didn't play much last season. Ake was like a bit part player, but Silva and Rodri were like starting 11 nailed on, and yeah, there's way too much experience that you've lost and not added back. Like you can't replace Rodri with Anderson because Anderson's nowhere near as good. So it was never gonna. That's never gonna work. So signing that wasn't a like for like. You know what I mean? It's they've weakened their squad, which is insane, and they've all got new managers as well. Like Chelsea got a new manager, Liverpool got a new manager, Man City got a new manager. I know Carrick was in for the last couple of months or last half of the season last season, but they've added European football to the mix, which they didn't have last season. So that's a massive difference for them as well. And yeah, they've just got Belieber, which does definitely benefit their squad, but their attacking options are not that great either. I think when you bring in young players, you need those experienced players in the team. That's what Chelsea have been lacking, 100%. And that's the reason why they've got in Henderson and Welbeck. Like, I don't see Henderson playing a whole load of games this season or a whole load of minutes. Even he might get on here and there in games like towards the end to like tighten it up. But the experience that he has on the training ground before the match at half time will definitely help. And Welbeck was still scoring goals for Brighton last season, so there's no reason why he can't feature and get some goals in for Chelsea. Oh, let's see if he gets booed. Enzo Fernandez coming on. Let's see if he gets booed. Pedro Neto coming on as well. Yeah, there's booze coming. There's booze coming out already. Enzo Fernandez is going to get booed every single ground that he goes to. Villa and Hato come off. Yeah, I think that's where Arsenal have really got it right this season as well. They've they've not tried to mess around with their squad too much. They've just added. They are leaders. The youngsters learn 100%, and that's why players like James Milner did so well as well. Because like not only was he like ridiculously fit and just kept playing, but he sets the right example to all the youngsters. Like in every team that he plays with, like he shouldn't be the one running around the pitch like in pre-season beating everyone, but he did, and that's because he set the right tone. So like that's invaluable to a club, like any club. There is no club that doesn't benefit. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether you're the richest club in the world or the poorest club in the world. Having that experience, who's going to set the tone and not let it slip, is vitally important. Oscar Bob's going off. He's played well this game. To be fair, he must be tired because he's been really good. I think it's a shame that you have lost Welbeck because Brighton gave him a chance when everyone thought he was finished, and he isn't going to play a lot for Chelsea. Yeah, I think you're right there. To be honest with you, how much did you get for him, or did he was it like 20 odd million? Yeah, I think you're right there. Like there should have maybe been a bit of loyalty, but maybe I do you know what? Like I said earlier, with Brighton, any decision they make is so well thought out that I think they were happy for him to go. Because if they didn't want to let him go, they wouldn't have let him go. So I do think what you're saying is right. Like Welbeck maybe should have been like, no, I'm not leaving because you guys like brought me back into the Prem. into a starting role in the Premier League when he wasn't getting that anywhere else, and and showed a bit of loyalty. Was it only 5-6 million? Yes, I thought it was a bit more than that, but yeah, like I said, maybe with like I said with Brighton, like I would always trust their thought process on something because they've proved over and over and over again that they make the right decisions when it comes to transfers and when it comes to hiring managers. Like De Zerbi, no one really knew much about De Zerbi before he come. Yeah, with I don't. Yeah, so then I reckon you're right, Simon. Like he shouldn't have wanted to go. Like he shouldn't have wanted to go. Do you know what I mean? He's been a bit selfish there because if it wasn't for Brighton, who knows where he would be. Landers is getting hammered here. Ball over the top. Cuts it back. Cleared by Fulham. Let's just run back into danger there. That was a bit risky. That's good play from Fulham, though. That's good play from Fulham. Lacroix does well, though. Gets himself in there. Yeah, he don't. Lacroix does well there. He bought the foul from Palacios there. Definitely been a good game this game, though. I'm glad we watched it. You wouldn't give him an extra 2 years on his contract. Yeah, okay, yes. I mean, it's all fair enough. Good thing is though that him leaving allows other players to get more minutes and develop. Welbeck isn't going to improve at this point. Yeah, you know what you're getting with Welbeck as well. You know what I mean? It's he's good in some aspects, not so great in other aspects. He didn't struggle to score yesterday, did he? Banged like 4 goals in, so didn't hurt too much. 70 minutes gone, 20 minutes left for Fulham to get back into it. But Chelsea look to be the team slowing the pace down a little bit now. And Fulham wanting to get back on the ball, but Chelsea are just happy to pass it around the back. We have a young Greek lad. He looks really good. Don't ask me. Yeah, yeah. I can imagine how many letters are in there, and all doesn't make any sense the words. But yeah, the you said you was at the game yesterday. Did the Jao Gomez one look like a red card straight away, or if was it hard to pick up? Is it Kostoulas, the Greek lad you're talking about? Yeah, Charalampos Kostoulas. I'm going to say it again because it livened up the game when I did it earlier. This game's died a little bit. Everyone seems to be happy to slow the pace down a little bit. Last time I did that, Fulham went and scored straight away. Robinson into uh, blocked out. Yeah, a bit far. Yeah, that's him. Look out for him. Yeah. Oh, King cuts inside. drives it into the bottom left corner, but just wide. Did well there though. He's looking a lot better this season. That little, like I said earlier, that little bit of final product that he was lacking last season looks like he's added quite a bit to his game. Was it him that scored a hat trick in the League Cup last year? Palacios off for Kevin. Standard goes off as well. Ryan Sessegnon comes on. Poor clearance that by Sanchez, straight to Fulham. Well defended there by Achimpong. Neto looks like he's coming on for Chelsea now. Chelsea got the ball on the back line. Where do you guys think Tottenham will finish this season? All in from Palmer. Robinson does well there. And Fulham play their way out. What's happened there? Foul. Reece James yellow card. It's interesting that we have a Brighton fan here. We are watching Chelsea and they play next weekend. Should be a good game. Yeah. With Chelsea not having European football, they may be up there. Yeah, you're right. That's the advantage they have this season over everyone else. In the same way that Man United had that advantage last season and made it all the way up the table. So yeah, it's probably going to benefit them quite a bit. And you'd expect Chelsea to do well in like the FA Cup or something like that as well because they've got the extra, they've got a decent squad depth, and uh, the other teams will be playing a lot more games than them this season. So you'd expect them to do quite well in one of the cups at least. Is he straight through to Castagna or just behind Garcia? Oh, that's poor. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, he's got done for a dive. Bassi got done for a dive. That was close, that though. Yeah. Bassi's absolutely tried to have the referee's eyes out there, but got caught. And then, because he knew he'd been caught, he tried to say, "Oh, I weren't going for it." For Spurs, De Zerbi is a great manager, but he will be blowing up. He will blow up at some point. Then it's all over. Yeah, 100%. Because like the team that he's assembled, I know they need some attackers. Looks like a quality team, but if they play the way that they play with the attitude that they had last season, the first game of the season, he's going to be booting off. I think Spurs will have a decent season, probably qualify for Europe. I know they had a bad game against Brentford, but they do have good players. Yeah, De Zerbi can't last more than 2 seasons at a club. Yeah, I think you're right. I've put them in my uh, Premier League prediction. I put them to get Europe, but not Champions League. Like I think Europa League or Conference League is the max that they can achieve. But if they play the way they played against Brentford, they got no chance. Oh, over the top to Robinson, over the keeper. Oh, he's gone wide. Oh, you've got to score that. It's on his weaker foot, but he's got to score that. Sanchez's positioning was terrible. Like he was just stood in the middle of his box. What's he doing? He was just stood on the penalty spot. You either commit and go or don't come out at all. He's lucky there. That would have been a massive mistake by him if that went in. Robinson's fully left-footed though, and that was on his right. Just fell to the wrong player. Fulham have really come back into this game since they scored as well. All just bouncing around in the middle here. Fulham come out on top though. King's got it, breaking out. He's got Sessegnon to the right hand side. Pass it into him. Is he going to cross? No, there's no one really in the box to be fair. Chelsea have got everyone behind the ball now. It's not surprising. They definitely were happy with a 3-2 win. Fulham haven't really got no options now though. Yeah, I'd be interested to know that as well, to be fair. What do you think about Belieber leaving? Palmer? Looks like Palmer's just hurt himself. All over the top to Pedro. Palmer's just hurt himself there. But I don't know if it's an injury or just like tweaked something. When he was at Brighton, it was the prettiest football I've ever seen in my years. So good to watch, but it had to end. He fell out with Tony Bloom. Did he play much last season or not really? Palmer's just indicated that he wants 2 more minutes before he goes off. Looks like he's actually hurt himself. He's so injury prone, isn't he? All over the top. But yeah, a bit too far. Bit too far. Chelsea need to keep this keep a win in this game now. You've got 10 minutes to hold on to this game. All over the top from Robinson to Iwobi. Or not Iwobi, sorry, Sessegnon. Lieber has real promise, but still young. Not too much. Last season form was bad. Yeah, I was going to say I don't remember seeing him too often, and I think he used to get booked quite a lot, didn't he? Like I seen him, like, he'd fly into challenges all the time, get booked, and then just become like not a liability. That's a bit strong, but he'd have to play a different game because he's on a yellow card. It won't be out to Kevin. Well played. Palmer's done well there. Oh yeah, De Zerbi could fall out of himself. To be fair, if he's in his hotel room, he could have an argument with himself. That guy. I like Kurzler though. To be fair, like I think again he was another manager I didn't really know much about before he came to you, but I like the way he does business. Like he's very calm and collected, but you know that he's got like a ruthless side behind him. You know what I mean? And that's how he gets the players playing at the way they play. He knows exactly what he wants and gets that out of his players. Like I do rate him. Oh, Rogers has come off 82nd minute. Yeah, he's steady, good for us. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what you want, and he come in and just took off where De Zerbi had left. What did you think of Graham Potter? Because what from what I seen at Brighton, I was really happy that he become West Ham manager. But then he was absolutely useless for us, and I don't know why. Brighton are tough to beat. Playing Brighton away is always tough. Yeah, I hated watching West Ham v Brighton. The thing is, though, what I will say about Brighton is they do give you a chance. Like the way that you guys play is quality football, but if it's not 100% going your way, you do give opportunities out. Do you know what I mean? You concede a few goals if you're having a bad game because of the way you play. Like if you get pressed quite high and get caught by the press, it's uh it's normally quite hard for you to win them games. But in other games, you just rip teams apart. Poor corner by Kevin. That's the last thing you need to be doing there. Session with another poor cross in and get the ball back in play quite early. They're trying to rush it now. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think every team in the league has. Yeah, when like Potter, like it was like at this because that was the start of when everyone started to click onto that Brighton were really onto a good thing when Potter was there. Like you might have been doing well before that, but I didn't really notice it so much. But then when Potter was there, it looked like he was the one that like sort of made it happen. So then when he went to Chelsea, I was expecting them to be flying. And then when he got sacked by Chelsea, I was like, okay, maybe that was just a step too much for him. But then when he came to West Ham, I thought, oh, sound. Like, he'll just play the way, he'll just do what he did at Brighton for us. But that didn't happen. What I seen him doing was he basically he came to us like halfway through the season where that we wasn't getting relegated that season. We not nothing was happening. We was just mid table or like bottom end to mid table. We wasn't going to get relegated, but we wasn't going to get into Europe. So it was like a free hit almost for the last like 2 3 months of the season. What he should have done is use that time to practice the way that he wanted to actually play, but didn't do that. Just played rubbish football and played in a way that we was never going to play in, and then tried to use pre-season to get the team playing that he wanted to play, and then we just got battered every game because we was behind the curve when he had like a good like few months with us before that happened to build the team like with the players that he had in a way that he in the system that he wanted to play, but didn't do that, and it was really strange to watch. And then because of that, because we lost so many games under him, he didn't get that much of a that much play in the start of the next season because his win ratio was absolutely terrible. So I think if he had have played it a bit differently, he could have done all right with us, but he just didn't play it the right way, and that's the reason why he got sacked so early in that season. And then we just struggled after that. Chelsea have got another 3 minutes to get on here, but Fulham are pressing high. Neto does well there though. That's poor from Esteval there. Chelsea have got to start keeping the ball now. Fulham look dangerous when they're going forward. Yeah, I mean West Ham have got a funny thing with Arsenal. I don't know what it is. Like sometimes there was a few seasons ago we just got battered by you no matter what happened. And then when you started challenging for the league, we started to get draws off of you and like beating you for some reason. I don't know what happened, but I don't know how that happened. But we started to get draws when you needed to beat us, and then we beat you one or two times in them years as well. So like we didn't help your uh league quest very often, which in the years before it would have been a banker for you to beat us. Like when you had like Aubameyang, he used to just bang goals against us all season, like every game. Lacazette as well. Chelsea have got like a minute and a half to play. Yeah, weren't we the first team to win at the Emirates? I think we was. I think we was the first team to beat you at the Emirates. Chelsea corner. This is exactly where they need the ball now. Chelsea, because Fulham have been putting a bit of pressure on them the last 5 minutes. Last minute corner for Chelsea. They're just going to try and keep the ball in the corner, I imagine. Yeah, just holding the ball in the corner. It's hard. At Brighton, we're set up for a coach, not a manager. It's not the same. So Potter was not Brighton, but just a part. Yeah, 100%. And that's the same thing as what Carrick's in. Like he doesn't have to worry about the management of the club. He just needs to focus on the players, and that's why he did so well last season. Because all the outside noise, Pedro, oh, he's offside. Someone's offside. Um, yeah, 100%. Like when you take the like all the outside noise away from the manager just by making him a coach, it makes everything so much easier for him. Yeah, he's offside. Um, yeah, exactly, 100%. And like, so like their Brighton's actual management, like their technical director, their sporting director, Tony Bloom, the owner, like all of them people are like so switched on to how football needs to be run that it just makes Brighton so much of a better team. Like if they was in a position to own a different club like Man United, for example, like all they had the whole infrastructure set up the way that Brian had at Man United, they'd be flying again. But unfortunately, the way that PSR and SCR works, Brighton are always going to struggle um to break into the next level. Like getting into Europe's a level, then getting up into the next level like Champions League and stuff is so much more difficult in the Premier League now because of the SCR rules, it's going to be so difficult. And like a team like Brighton, obviously getting into Europe, if they win the Conference League, that will massively help. But like your revenue every year is going to be nowhere near what Man City, Liverpool, Man United, and Chelsea get. Exactly, yeah. You have to be all switched on because otherwise you wouldn't survive. And that's the reason why you do and other teams don't. Like West Ham, that's why we didn't because we make stupid decisions. Like we try and buy these players, like going back years and years. Like we try and buy a player that looks good in a team, get him into our team, and we don't play the same way. Yeah, 100%. He has changed the game, and for the better as well. Like 100% is for the better because it means other teams can progress. Like when I was growing up, just watching Man United win absolutely everything, or Arsenal was it was sad. Do you know what I mean? Because like if you didn't support one of them two teams, you never won anything. That was a dive. I heard him scream from here. There was no chance that was a free kick. A minute and a half left in the game for Fulham to get a goal back. I don't think it's going to happen for him, to be honest. I don't know though. Liverpool got it yesterday. Not like that. They're not going to though. People can't even be asked to properly boo Fernandez anymore either. 1 minute left. Oh, good turn. Unlucky. We have n- we have to we have to have and stick to our model. Bloom's a yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah. You could never go away from the where you go now. Do you know what I mean? Like if you did, you just wouldn't go anywhere. Like Neto's done well here. They did well there. Yeah, and to be fair, I think more and more teams are probably going to try and follow the way that you do stuff. Like 100%, they're going to be doing it in the same way that like all the managers want to play like Pep. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's the way that all teams play. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like if you're in League One, League Two. Everyone's like got the goalkeeper passing out from the back and playing like that's not how every team should play. It doesn't make sense. If you ain't equipped for that, you shouldn't be playing like that. Oh, good shot from Muniz there. But he's a bit too far out. All right, that's game over. 3-2 to Chelsea. A lot closer than I thought it was going to be, that, to be honest with you. Fulham did well there. Good game. That was definitely the best game of the weekend, wasn't it? Okay, once again, thank you, Simon, for joining the chat and Dignity as well. Much appreciated. You're more than welcome to come next week. Um, Crystal Palace Man City on a Friday night will be the next one that I do. It's the next one that's available. So thank you guys for coming. It's much appreciated. It makes streaming so much easier when there's people to talk to. Um, nice to meet you guys, and I'll catch you in a bit.